and welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, we're going to be learning about some geometry, specifically how to calculate surface areas, also known as areas. And what are they first of all? Well, we're going to be learning that, and we're also going to be learning how to calculate surface area of squares, rectangles, circles, triangles, right triangles, trapezoid, and even parallelograms. So let's go right into the video. So now that we got started, guys, first of all, let's ask ourselves, what is a surface area? Well, in basic terms, the surface area is whatever is inside of a polygon. So in this rectangle, for example, anything which is inside of its lines, is, well, the surface area. Really simple, guys, right? Or like a triangle, and all of this is its surface area, or area. So yeah, that's already very simple. And now let's, well, try to get the formulas themselves. So first of all, the rectangle. How to calculate the rectangle's area. So to do this, you'll have to multiply its length, which is left to right, by its width, which is up to down. But that's how you calculate its area, okay? Length times width. How to calculate the square's area. So we're going to put a square here, and we're going to want to do s squared. What is that? Well, s stands for side, so we're going to want to make these two sides multiply by each other. So like we saw in the rectangle, the height times the length, or you could say the width times the length, same thing, because it doesn't really matter what you call it, but I like to say height and length. We're going to do the vertical times the horizontal, basically, to cover everything which is inside. And since we know that a square has the same length on each of its sides, so like, let's say our square had a side length of 6 centimeters, then obviously all of the other side lengths are also going to be 6 centimeters. So yeah, that's the same for a square. Just like the rectangle, we're going to do the vertical length times the horizontal length, which is in this case 6 times 6, which is 36, because we're doing the vertical length times the horizontal length, which is going to be 6 times 6, which is 36. So 36 square centimeters. So another important thing that you guys have to keep in mind is that whenever you're calculating areas or surface areas, which is basically the same thing, it is actually the same thing, you want to say squared. So let's say I want to multiply these two sides, like in our example. Well then, 6 centimeters times 6 centimeters, in our case, since we're calculating the surface area, our answer is going to be the surface area, right? And when you're trying to express surface area, you're going to put its like units of length. Like let's say in our case it's 36 centimeters. But since it's a surface area, or an area, we're going to put a little squared up there, a little 2 above the centimeter, above the actual units. So yeah, that's just one thing that you guys should keep in mind. Next formula, a right triangle. Okay, and let's put a small square on the side to show that it's right. So, how to calculate the area of a right triangle? You're going to want to do the horizontal length, which we're going to call A, times the vertical length, which is what we're going to call B in this case. I don't know why, let's just call it like that. But yeah, we're going to want to multiply these two lengths, and then we're going to want to find the answer of that. Like let's say B in this case is equal to 7, and A in this case is equal to 9. We're going to want to do 7 times 9, which is going to be 63, and then we want to do 63 times a half. So B times A, and that value times a half. Or, instead of saying times a half, you can say divided by 2. So 7 times 9, which is 63, times a half, which is going to be 31.5. By the way, guys, we always want to put our units next to our length, because we've got to know what is it, like 9 what centimeters, apples, you know what I mean, potatoes or whatever. We got to know what it is. Okay, now let's calculate the surface area of a trapezoid. That's a trapezoid. And the formula is a half times the height times the base length times the base length. What does that mean? I'm going to show you guys. Let's name our top line, this one. We're going to name it small b. And the line here down here, the line down here, let's name it big B. The length in between is going to be considered as our height. So what are we going to do? Let's say that lowercase b is equal to 4 and uppercase b is equal to 8. And let's say that the height in between, like the length in between these two bases or lines, you could say, segments, is 6. So what are we going to do? We're going to want to do half times h times b plus b. I'm just going to put parentheses because we're prioritizing that. So when I put parentheses, that just means that we're going to do that first. So since the big B is 8 and lowercase b is 4, we're going to do 8 plus 4, which is 12. And now we're going to want to do 12 times, well, a half times height. So yeah, now we're going to want to do a half times the height, because we're, by the way, following the order of operations. And a half times our height, which is 6, is equal to 6 divided by 2, like I said. It's 3, sorry. So 3 times 12, okay, a half times that, okay, 3 times, okay, so 3 times 12 is going to be 36. 36 inches square. Okay, guys? It's not that complicated, actually. Okay, let's do our last formula. So, let's now calculate the area of a circle. The formula is 2 times pi times r. So, what is pi? In mathematics, pi might seem a bit complicated because it looks a bit like this. And it looks kind of complicated, but it isn't at all. Everything that you guys have to know is that pi is equal to 3.14. I mean, it's not equal to 3.14. It's infinite number. And what we do nowadays is that we just round it up to the nearest hundreds. So everything that you guys need to know is that pi equals 3.14. And so, yeah, we're going to want to do 2 times pi times r. What is r? Okay, we have a circle now. Let's draw a line in between the circle, a straight line. What I just drew was the diameter. But what the radius is the half of the diameter. Usually on tests or on assignments or problems or any question really in math where you're involved calculating the area, the problem usually gives you the length of the diameter. All that you guys need to know is that the diameter is 2 times the radius, and the radius is the diameter divided by 2. So if you're given the diameter and you're trying to calculate the area of a circle, just divide the length of the diameter by 2 to get the radius. Or if you have the radius length, well, yeah, we're happy. Use the radius length. Okay, so what we're going to do, well, we are going to do pi, which is 3.14, times 2 times r. Let's say that our radius is 8, okay? So let's just do 2 times 3.14, which is 6.28. And 6.28 times our radius, which is 8, is 50.24. That's a really simple way of calculating the area of a circle, guys. And yeah, that's how you do it. Okay, guys, now let's calculate our final shape, the parallelogram. Let's just draw the height. Yeah, so we're going to want to name this h for height, which is like in the trapezoid example, it's the length in between the two baselines or two segments or two lines. And then we're going to also want to name this b, big B. So the formula is that we want to do the base times the height. Really not complicated at all. So we just have to use the base times the height. And in our case, let's say base equals 4, height equals 2. Base times height, last time I checked, 8. So yeah, that's a really simple way of calculating these areas, guys, the surface areas. I hope this video honestly helped you guys, and I hope that you enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm sure that you might have some doubts, so feel free to ask your teacher about it, or just rewatch the video. And yeah, have a good day, and yeah, see you. Bye.